Hey, look at that. I'm in a mesh jacket that's not black. Woo, maybe it'll be a little cool this time. Hello all, welcome to Moto Ramblings. Today I am on my 2020 Lemon, the KTM 790 Adventure R. And I did say Moto Ramblings because at the request of the founder of Moto Ramblings, Patrick, he said I should make a positive video. And so I decided, why not? I am stealing his idea of ranting on a motorcycle. I could at least do one positive. So here it is. And the reason I'm doing a positive one today is I'm having an odd day. Now, I had to work from 6:30 to 10:30 this morning, and honestly, if things had gone better at work, I probably would have done a few more hours, but by 10:30, I'd had enough of a day to bail and get out of there. It is the 4th of July. Congratulations, United States of America. And I, unfortunately, couldn't take the day off. Neither here nor there. Let's get to the good part. Now, I went ahead and I came home and I decided it would be a good day. Oh, this jacket feels really good. Today is a mesh jacket day. Very few clouds and it is 94 degrees. Woo! So, I decided I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna work on that Lemon a little bit, and I'm gonna ride it. I still plan to sell the bike, but I really want to make sure I put a couple hundred miles on it at least before I do. Come on, buddy, run for it. Because I don't want to stick anyone with a bike that's got a problem. I want to know that after sitting for 10 weeks in the shop, having the electrical problem resolved, it's A-okay, or at least as close as I think it can be before selling it to some fellow. Now, I'm here and I'm adjusting the chain, and I just start lubing the chain, and a chicken runs between me and the bike. Now, I'm accustomed to chickens. I think my wife has 11 of them. But I'm not accustomed to chickens coming over when I'm working on the bike when I'm 800 miles away from my wife's chickens. So I get up and I'm like, I don't think anyone nearby has chickens. There's a woman that has chickens, but she's like a quarter of a mile away. I'm like, oh no, I hope all of her chickens haven't escaped. So I make an effort to catch this cute little golden chicken, and I'm unsuccessful. She's terrified of me. So I walk over to the house I know that has chickens, and I notice she's got her chickens inside. It doesn't look like there's any way that one could have easily escaped. And I walk back, and I'm like, all right, I gotta try to find out where this chicken's from. And so I see the chicken again, and when I try to catch it, it runs to the neighbors. I'm like, okay, fine. I didn't know the neighbor had chickens, but let's check. And sure enough, I find a chicken coop there. And I spend about 5 minutes trying to finagle and convince the chicken to get back in the chicken coop, which has an open door. Now, where we live in Post and Kill, you really can't let your chicken free range. Dogs love to eat chickens during the day, and there are so many dogs in the neighborhood. This chicken is not safe. So I do my best, and I finally get that chicken so she's right in front of the door, and then runs up next to me, 2 more chickens. So now we're to 3 chickens. The one is in, I close the door, and I spend another 5 minutes trying to convince these 2, who ran away as soon as I looked at them, to get back into the chicken coop. Finally, now we're at 3 chickens. All right, things are going great. Then I look behind me at my property, and there's 3 more chickens. I'm like, oh my God. So then I have to head over to that yard, start finagling the chickens who are nowhere near the coop to the coop. This takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and I can't get my hands on any one of these. I don't want to hurt them. And honestly, if you've ever seen the claws on a grown chicken, I also don't want to get scratched or pecked at. So I'm doing my best, and I finally get 2 more chickens in. We're at 5 chickens in the chicken coop. And did I mention it was 94 degrees? So I'm sweating, I'm hot as heck. and the last chicken is determined not to go in. And I spend at least 10 minutes jogging after this chicken, and I've given up not getting scratched. At this point, I'm like, I will bleed a little just to end this and get on the motorcycle. I will just do it. And chasing around, turns out I didn't quite have to grab her, because when I was able to chase her, I moved her towards the point where she ran and wanted to get in the coop. So she ran right up to the door, saw that it was locked, turned around and ran towards me, put my arms out, and she panicked and ran back to the door, and I was able to catch up enough to open the door, and in we go. We have 6 chickens. God, I hope they only have 6 chickens. 6 chickens are in my neighbor's coop, and I go ahead and lock the door. They have an unusual lock that you can accidentally lock it so that it's down and over, but the door still opens. Really bad design if you ask me. However, I locked it carefully. They have 6 golden chickens back in the coop, and me, I'm back here riding the bike. So the day didn't start out wonderfully, and I had to sweat the heck out of myself catching those chickens, and I've been up since 5 a.m. It's now 3:30. But it was fun. I was very glad to help my neighbor. I was very glad that it appears, I looked around the property, that nobody went and grabbed any of the girls, a predator. So I'm in a really good mood now. And what's really funny about this, and I'm sorry if this isn't interesting, probably if you don't do anything for your neighbors or if you don't know anything about chickens, this story is probably incredibly boring. But I'm going to tell you right now, my wife has chickens. We have one called Nugget, which I tell everyone is my pet chicken. It's the first chicken of the ones my wife bought that came over, climbed up on me, and was friendly. She's adorable. She's a great chicken, and she does a whole lot more than a cat does, and she appears to be slightly smarter than a dog. So, pet chickens, kind of neat. But I'll tell you right now, every woman I know that has chickens, they love those darn chickens. They love them like cat owners do. No one wants to lose their chickens. I mean, it's not like a farm. These are little backyard hens. This family has small children, and I cannot imagine those children would have a good evening if they came home and their chickens were unfortunately the victims of predators. So I'm in a great mood. I was able to help my neighbor out. All right, folks, don't forget to go to Moto Ramblings on YouTube. He just hit 1,000, and you know what that means? He needs to hit 1,500. So if you are not a subscriber, head over to Moto Ramblings, give Patrick a look. You're gonna like what you see, and then give Patrick a sub. I appreciate it. If you stuck around for this absolutely rambling ride, I appreciate it, and take care.